Hello, folks. It's Sunday, and feel like talking for a minute. Sunday morning, the 7th of January. Cheers. Just gotta. Hmm. That taste helps. It just helps me get my day started right. It does, folks. I just wanted to. I feel like talking, so it's not so much that I want to tell you about music. I have some stuff to kind of document in a way. That's another thing. It's like been doing these videos for 10 years or so, and so it's like a documentation, of stuff. I see here recently where someone who interviewed me for Eclectic Blogs, I completely forgot that, but nice to hear from you. Just, the years, they just melt away. So a couple things. The dude, my folks came through for me. I'm going to leave the lap. It's not a problem. James and Blake did come through yesterday, and we had a good day. They spent most of the day with me, and had some trouble with Ableton. Not really Ableton, but my interface that I use to. I use an old 4-track. Someone was asking me to show my studio. There's really nothing to show you. I have an old 4-track cassette machine that I use as an interface for microphones and inputs other than the MIDI into the computer. I use Ableton, Reason, and Reaper. So there's really nothing to show you. But once we, James has been using Ableton for years, and so it was wonderful that he could help me with a couple of little technical things where it's like I didn't understand. And one question that I was about to ask him, just by him being here, I figured it out and did a Control Alt whatever, and said, "Oh, duh! Of course, this is how you do that." I love my friends. I love my friends deeply. And we have a brotherhood. What I do with James and Blake is make music, not mess and not bullshit. I don't get involved in personal crap with them. We make music. I'm their friend. I'm a supporter of their lives. They tickle me with some of the mess that they go through over women. We're all human. I'm human too, but I just really see when it comes to a lot of people, my position is I would rather be detached than enmeshed. I like sex as much as the next person, but this world sexually is very topsy-turvy. And for the most part, I'll just look. Y'all stay the fuck away from me. We were talking about that with James has been in a long-term relationship. And this woman, I love her, but you ain't putting me through that. Hot, cold bullshit. Oh, please. So anyway, the Muse Part 2 has officially begun. Did we lay down anything that I think I will be using on the record yesterday? No. It was an ideas day. And we needed to get started. So we got started. I recorded quite a bit of stuff, but I was listening and editing last night and nothing. I have some more things to learn. And but it was a good session. It was a good time spent with my friends. I love these guys very much. And I love the fact that they both insist on giving me a hug when they leave. James in particular gives me the biggest. It's a family hug. it's like, you all know what I'm saying. There's a difference in hugs, and he hugs me in a very, very personal, wonderful way that I really appreciate. Like I say, James and I go back so many years, and we toured the United States a couple times. You get on the road, you really find out about people. You really do. I'll show a record. I played one yesterday, but the other thing I want to document that's on my mind that is somewhat music related is, I talk about my friends, and one of my friends is Nick. He and his wife just had the baby. Well, yesterday Nick lost his father, Doug Fackler, and I was watching Lee Sklar being interviewed on Sunset Sound, and he kept remarking about how so many things in his life are interwoven and one thing leads to the next. And, as he was telling stories, and it's the same for me. Long before I met Nick, as a kid, I would go and sneak in to see Nick's dad's band, Bumpy Action play. They were one of the hot bands in Omaha. And they had a lot of Southern rock influences, but Doug could really play. Now, his son, Nick plays guitar, but nothing like his dad. Doug Fackler was a badass guitar player. And he inspired me. He was one of the local musicians besides my parents who inspired me because he was so good. And like I said, I got to go see him as a kid back in the hippie days, in the early days of the Music Box here and stuff. And then in the early days of working with Nick, we ended up with a band called Indrima, but it was called Merriweather for a while, and then it was called the Family Radio for a while. And as the Family Radio, we were starting to, get some things going that moved into Indrima. We had one show where I think we opened for Tilly on the Wall, and Nick's dad, Doug, joined us on stage. So I've actually gotten to play music with Doug Fackler. Rest in peace. I think it was cancer, I think. As people say, fuck cancer. I've lost a lot of folks to cancer. So I was just messaging Nick just now, letting him know if you need anything. He has a loving family, and he loved his dad. That's the other thing. That's when you lose your parents, it's a big one. My relationship with my dad was conflicted, but overall it was good. I really loved my father. I liked him a lot. I'm a lot like him. I choose to downplay the negative parts that we had in common, okay? But Nick really loved his dad, so this is going to be tough on him, I know. I just talked to him just now. Dad lived long enough to see Nick's baby, though, so he got to meet Nick's first child. And I say that because I won't be surprised if I hear that Nick and Kat are pregnant again in less than a year or so. So musically, there's a little repeat here because this was given to me recently. Weisses Gold from Germany. And it's in German, so it explains. Actually, Mike Dawson told me a little bit about what this is about. So the words, I have no idea, but the music, there's several passages in here where whoever wrote this has classical chops. This is really well written. And there's parts where it goes into like, we're in ecstasy. Something is really elevating our feelings, and it comes through in the music. I love stuff like that so very much. So that was a play. And consequently, I played both sides all the way through because it's like, damn, this is good. Oh, this is good. The other record I played almost all the way through after getting done in the studio and doing some editing and mixing was Man, Welsh band, right? Welsh, not English, Welsh. Boy, people get touchy about that shit. Don't mess with me. I'm Omaha, Nebraska. I ain't over there. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I've had this since I was a teen, but this is my second copy. I frankly don't know what happened to my teenage copy. Be good to yourself at least once a day. It's got the big fold-out map of Wales. Just a love. What a cool. I've got some other fold-outs. The Jethro Tull stand-up. I have that. This is a book, just a good feeling type of band. There is a definite boogie aspect to this, but there's also the prog element. They write good songs, good melodies, and when they jam good. That's what I like about Men. They were a jam band, but not noodly, melodic and ensemble, like kind of like Traffic. I have Traffic. I like Traffic. Again, everyone knows about him. That's why I never talk about him. But I have great regard for Traffic and Steve Winwood and the guys. They kept the jams heady and interesting. So this is good. With the passing of Chris Carrere of Amundul 2, excuse me, when people pass, that puts their work on your radar. So it's Nick again. Yeah, okay, I'll talk to him. Yeah, means so much to me. So this is an album that came out that was a side project of John Weinzierl and Lothar Mead of Amundul 2. But it also includes folks from Embryo and some other people. This is really good, though. It's been re-released under the name of Amundul 2 since this first came out. This is an original, though. It's got those great graphics. The guy's name is on here. The people who did it, kind of like to me like Hypnosis. This run of visual material that is associated with the band Amundul 2 is on a par with the stuff that Hypnosis did for Pink Floyd and the bands that they worked for. Storm Thorgerson. It was great. This is a very good album. It's not a throwaway. It's not just a jam. It's really good. And they do a great version of the Amundul song Deutsch Nepal. So that got played. Looking to see if there's anything else. Well, the only other thing I have here that I haven't shown that's down here, I could do a pull. Oh, no, there's another one. I have to look. So I went down to Homer's on yesterday, or Friday, with the idea that, well, I'll get that blue vinyl reissue of the first Yes album. They didn't have it. And it's frustrating because in their new release list on Instagram, it said yes, but it hadn't come in yet, so I didn't get it. But thankfully, it wasn't a wasted trip because when they showed this in the used update the day before, I didn't recognize the cover. But when I saw it and looked at the spine, this is Black Moth Super Rainbow. Love this band. I think it's mainly one guy. He also does stuff called Tobacco. And it's this... Their graphics remind me of the Faint, too. The collage-y stuff. They do it well. And this music, it's lo-fi. It sounds like it was recorded like 30 years ago. They use a vocoder a lot. And it sounds like it's recorded on tape, literally. But it's intriguing because it's pink vinyl and it's an etched. I'll show the etch. The etch is kind of ugly, but they got the money to do it, so they do it. But I love this. This is my third record now, third album by Black Moth, Super Rainbow. I like them all a lot. It's a woozy, weird, hazy sound. I like it a lot. And this is the strange graphics. I don't know what that shit's about. I don't know what it's about. You know, I don't know. Anyway, just to keep going here, I was talking to the fellows yesterday, back to the Muse 2. We're going to go about this, you know, let the music develop, because yeah, but I will pursue putting this out on vinyl, which means it might take a while, but I want this on vinyl. The next Muse, I want to put it out on vinyl. So we talked about that. Excuse me. So the other record that got played in the last couple of days, not yesterday, probably on Friday, was the Sea and Cake, Chicago band, Any Day, related to the band Tortoise, Sam Prickup. Saw Tortoise a couple times, hung out with them, met Sam, Archer Pruitt, Jeff, Parker, great guys. I felt like I'm one of them. I mean, I am, but hanging out, I felt like, shit, I could get up and play with you guys now. Their vibe was good. I'm not sure how to describe this music. It's not prog. It's not Tortoise. It's almost pop, but it's something else. White vinyl. It's good. Once again, I just vaguely catch the words, but it's mostly the feeling of the music. And I like it has kind of a loping feel. Kind of a loping feel, like I think of antelopes and stuff sometimes when I listen to the rhythms. So there's that. I'd actually pulled this, my copy of Yes's first album. This is a Canadian pressing, actually. And they definitely improved when Steve Howe joined the band. So this first album is okay. So it's not like I really need to get the new version. It's more like, well, it's what we do. We shop. What do I shop for? Records. I'm so sorry, folks, for you folks that may get upset hearing me go through my body stuff, but it's just, nothing I can do about it. All right. I wanted to say hello. That's mainly what I wanted to share. Hope you all are doing well. Take care. Family out on the West Coast. They had some tremors yesterday. Another reason why, earthquake could happen here, but all that's why I stayed in Nebraska. Okay, see ya.